Episode of Completely New. Good morning. This is an episode of Completely New. This is really important, very clear, and very sort of grand opportunity that we have. Very grand mission, of course, to continue not only with the continuance of the evolution, not just for this planet and our responsibility here in these very interesting times of very strange sorts of unique things that are going on. Meaning, regardless of what happens, that may seem to be turmoil or chaotic or a little bit of crazy. We got a little bit of makeability in the ascendability of what we can do and what we are doing and what is in process of what we have a responsibility to do in the unique, beautiful co-creation of this magical realm that we call world of paradise, that we call this world, that we call planet Earth. So, I mean, there's many different ways to look at it. There's many different sorts of different avenues that can be gone down. Meaning, what is one of the questions? What is the there's a lot of perpetual, once again, something that can be called unhealthy, and once again I'm doing this from the big picture perspective. Let's just go straight to the positive. There's this brand new thing called healthy cycles. Once again, we know about these sort of positive things that comes with changing the sun. That change ultimately actually does start with us, because as we raise our consciousness, which actually is a really powerful thing, we raise our consciousness, the electromagnetic field is affected. Long story short, our consciousness raising does affect the sun. So usually it's thought, the sun affects, or it was actually. Let's just be positive. So because our effects affect the sun, we affect change in the solar system. And as a matter of fact, also a unique way to look at things is to imagine also the quarantine has been removed, so that's good because we have matured, I would say. Also, the sphere, it's good to envision, and I definitely do, in a sense, or in a way, believe it. Definitely believe this to be true. So, a sphere, giant sphere, is encompassing this entire solar system, and that's just something that is so that gives us an idea of how large these spacecraft can be. So imagine that. Imagine how large the sun is. Now, the entire solar system. I mean, millions, and it's huge. So imagine the entire solar system being enveloped or within a biosphere, like a spacecraft, like a huge. That's how big this is, and so how big the ship is. So I mean that allows so many paradigms to be skipped over and moved and really kind of accelerates that segue of what we do. Because footsteps, I love footsteps because once again you can in a sense see them because it's a footprint, and it's a way to move forward in the positivity of light. And there's so much stuff for reasons to not just be understanding of the type of uniqueness that is involved in trailblazing, but kind of just to be ourselves and be involved in more uniqueness and light. And what I mean to do that is I'm going to take it up another level, is I want to up it up again. So here's some of the things that I personally will advocate for the freedom for, which is positive in many different ways. Here we go. So we got a lot of different interesting. Well, let's be professional here. And let's start off with saying this. Our families, all of our families, all of humanity in general, is absolutely incredibly precious. everyone has a beautiful, important, grand legacy. Everybody plays a part in this. Everyone is absolutely special. There's no one that's no lesser special. And the amazing thing is the key sorts of unique qualities that exist. It is just like running up on something greater than gold. It's like seeing another human being is just golden. I mean, think about how much we've gone through, how much love is imbued in that, how much connections that have already been made, and how much progress we develop ourselves in as, a sort of new frontier that can be traveled as human beings alone. This is just so amazing. So that's kind of a grand responsibility that can be done, and so one of the things I want to do, I do lead in very, very subtle ways. I still like to do that, or need to do that, and it's a responsibility that we do. The key sorts of legacies that we lead and leave individually and mark and transition into individually. Without a doubt, there's no way that we can't change the type of tenacity that it takes to, for example, me individually, to change the type of course that would require something that would be a sort of regression or a negative path, or meaning like a path that would be a twisting or a path that would stray, even though it's impossible to stray. Because we are guiding light, we are guardians of light, we are beings of transcendence, we are beings of light, we are beings of grandeur, and there's nothing that cannot be. That was nothing. I mean, I'm a master at that. I really am. I have mastered the art of trailblazing. I've mastered it. So I am literally brilliant at being able to guide people, lead, and just be an anchor of light for any type of anything. And that's just what I do. That's what I love to do. And so let's keep that in mind continuously. Let's also keep in mind that we have since we have this new understanding of anchoring, let's do this. Let's take it up a notch again. Once again, there's notches that have been met. Let's use those notches as ladders, and let's climb up those notches. And we're gonna take it to the next level. Keep in mind many different types of, believe it or not, this is something I just believe is now part of what needs to be done. Safety is, of course, a key issue. There's many different things and technologies and things that will allow us to keep our safety. Of course, our spiritual tenacity, will power, and will fire means that there will be more interest in being involved in things that may be a little bit more hectic, and I can guarantee it is much more similar to many other type of coincidences or it's not just coincidences, but occurrences that occur on Treasure Planet from those type of technologies that we can be using and utilize, and then the type of scenarios would allow us to have that sort of anchoring wisdom to allow that sort of subtleties to expand into the continuous realm of unknown, to continue the movement, allowance, and an acceleration of our limitless potential. This is your host, Christopher Mal Curtis Bowen, guardian of light, being of light, guardian angel, lover of all humanity, lover of healing, lover of peace, and creator of prosperity, creator of light, creator of love, creator of majesticness, and the co-creative ability of doing what I do, making what I make, and then obviously expanding my already unlimited potential to do much more of my continuous limitless jobs. This is your host, Christian Malker, this bonus morning edition of Completely New. Love you all.